This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow Manchild, Johnny Karlic.
You've seen a horse fly. You've seen a dragonfly. You've even seen a housefly. Let's get ready for Dumbo.
And as Johnny just said, we are reviewing Dumbo. Johnny and I saw it this past weekend, and this is where we come in to give you our thoughts of different movies. So I say this every week. If there's a movie you would like us to see, comment it down below. We will go see it. We will review it for you guys. Actually, a big announcement is that although Johnny and I this Friday are going to go see Shazam, Dave and I saw it early. So next week, you're going to get a movie review earlier than we would usually put them out. Usually these go out on Mondays because we record on Sundays. But the Shazam review will be out Thursday night. So go ahead. It's right after you see Shazam this week. Boom. You can catch the Rick and Johnny review this week because Dave and I were able to see Shazam early while you were at C2E2.
Yep. So it'll be the Dave and Rick, the
Rick and Davey podcast.
Ooh, okay.
Or the Dave and Ricky podcast, but I'm the host still. So the Rick and Davey podcast.
I'll let you two.
And then I can just go,
Davey.
I don't know, Davey.
Okay, Davey.
Okay,
He's going to be mad that we said that, isn't he?
Yeah, a little bit. It was weird. What was weirder was I recorded a video that is not going to see the light of day.
Oh, yeah?
Because we had to re-record it. And in the video, I referenced him as David.
Ooh, that's...
And usually the only one to call him David is his father. So he was like very jokingly, he's like, what, did you sternly push up your glasses when you said it? Because I never call him David. I only call him Dave. Hey, Dave, I think you're watching. Maybe
Probably.
not this one, but I know you watch. But let's get into the review. How we do it is we go into a non-spoiler mode. We kind of tell you who this is meant for, who we think it's meant for, little bit about the movie, should you go see it, and then we go ahead and get into spoiler mode. We spoil everything, and then we end the show giving our ratings. This one will be out of 5 feathers, and then we will give our show stealer, which is our MVP, at the end of the podcast. But Johnny, first thing we're going to look at, non-spoiler mode. First thing I'm going to ask you, who is this movie meant for?
Who is it meant for?
Who is it meant for, and who is the prime target of this movie?
I'd say big Disney fans, and take your kids to go see it.
Okay.
Those would be the people I would say.
I was thinking the same
Except
thing.
don't take your kids at 10 o'clock at night.
Well, it was 9:30 when we went to that movie, so not quite 10 o'clock.
Whatever, semantics. You know the movie's going to at least go till 10:30, 11.
It went till 11:39 because that kid with the poopy diaper, I smelt that poopy diaper. I was like, man, they're going to change. I don't know. The dad's probably got noses, like nostrils of steel then.
Apparently.
Because it was not phasing him. I was like, man, that's a poopy diaper. I could even smell that by walking right past me. But I agree with you. If you are the way I'm going to phrase this, not big, but if you're like a fanatic of Disney and have watched all the movies, this is for you.
Yep.
If you've watched Dumbo and liked the Dumbo movie from the 40s, this is for you. And if you like Tim Burton movies, this movie is
too.
for you.
I forgot to mention that one too.
There's my trifecta of who this movie is meant for. I agree with you. If you're going to take your kids to a movie, this is one that you would take to. If you're looking for a cute date night for you and your girlfriend or you and your boyfriend, that would also work as well. But if you're a cashy Disney fan, I would maybe stay away from this one.
Wait till it goes to Netflix for that person.
DVD, if you still buy those.
I do.
You can kind of
just
get
Marvel
them
now.
Either there, but in non-spoiler mode, give me your laydowns. What did this movie do right? What did it do wrong?
Honestly,
without spoiling stuff.
There wasn't a lot to me that it did wrong. I like that
there never is. I'll be completely honest.
I am very lenient on movies.
Like, Johnny is usually the happy-go-lucky.
I agree with one thing you said. Is they didn't give you a lot to develop with most of the characters.
And that's my biggest
aside
negative.
Dumbo. I mean, obviously it's Dumbo. It's about him, but they made their own.
In spoiler mode, I'm gonna have a theory for why that is.
They have their own interpretation. I like it. I like the interpretations they made, especially all the throwbacks they made to the original Dumbo movie, where especially in some things they couldn't because of certain things in society today and certain things differences in today's.
I'll go ahead and say it.
I was waiting for spoiler.
They just didn't have no, because I think this isn't a spoiler. This is just something people expect. Okay. They didn't have the crows.
Didn't have Jim Crow.
Yeah, like they didn't have something.
They didn't have
original,
the Rustabout song,
which is not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. I'm just saying because of differences in today's society and back then in the 40s.
Exactly.
That's why they weren't in there.
But the thing I will say, although the big negative for me for this movie is just character development.
The lack of it.
And character. I'm not character development because they develop nicely. It's they don't get you to care about the characters until it's too late. That's exactly what I told you after we saw it. But one thing I think they did well, and this comes from the Disney fan aspect, anything that you remember from the 1940s Dumbo. So and these might be spoilers, but I'm going to conclude them here because if you've seen the old Dumbo movie, you're going to be expecting these. So the scene from the original one with the moonlight shot on his mother's
Baby of Mine.
Yeah, Baby of Mine. That is in there where Dumbo's trunk goes up and they kind of lock trunks.
Yeah.
Bingo. There's one. Another one. Clown face Dumbo on top of a flaming building, and that's when he flies. Check it off. It's number 2. They even give small little references. Like the one you gave, the one at the beginning with the I've seen a dragonfly, a housefly.
The one they gave the little nod to the Jim Crow.
Yes, they didn't have Jim Crow in it, but they made the nod to that reference to it. They also threw reference to the
Casey Jr.
The Casey Jr. and what you had mentioned with the is it Rustabouts?
Yeah, they did bring up
Danny DeVito's character does reference that.
Yes,
at one point. So it's like
also pink elephants.
There's little references. Everything from the original. I'm gonna say everything because I didn't think there was anything that.
No, there's obviously there's songs and stuff they can't throw in there because
which might have been a problem. For
it's
me.
fine.
It's a Disney movie.
It's fine. There's songs they couldn't throw in there because of differences from then to today, and that's fine. They made references to those things, which was really nice.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, that is another negative for me of you're a Disney movie. Think about the last few live action Disney movies that we've seen. Like the one that pierces in my brain is Beauty and the Beast.
True.
Beauty and the Beast. Could you imagine that movie if they said, we're just going to cut the music and just have Beauty and the Beast?
No.
Disney musics are, at the time, they were modern-day musicals for us.
And, I mean, that's what they did. They made a modern-day musical when it came to Beauty and the Beast. It's it was just a little hard to step around with Dumbo because of the connotations of today's society.
And
honestly,
I think there's a bigger issue, but
I thought of another way, and I'll wait till spoiler mode to say what they could have done with the Jim Crow thing now.
Okay. Anything that you want to mention in non-spoiler mode?
I think we are already starting to slip into spoilers, so we should probably just jump right in.
We've said who it's for. We've gave you our kind of negatives or not. I am going to say this. This is my caveat, and you can say the same answer. I would say unless you're a diehard Disney fan, you're looking to take your boyfriend or girlfriend somewhere for a nice date, or you're looking to take the kids somewhere so they'll shut up for about 2 hours, then this is the movie for you. Yeah. Otherwise, wait for it to come on Netflix. Agree, disagree?
I agree.
Okay. Well, we are going to jump into spoiler mode, so this is where I tell you if you have not seen the movie, go, and if you want to go see it. In this case, it's if you want to go see it, go see it. Pause this. We'll be here waiting for you. If not, we're going to just transfer right on into it, and right now we are in the spoiler zone, the kind of the spoiler line just went right over us, and now we are in the spoiler zone. Here's the first thing I want to talk about. I just want to right away, fast pitch, right down the middle, fastball right at you. We're hitting hitting the hard topics early.
Yeah.
There was one thing that I didn't think about until after I got home from the movie.
Okay.
You know what would have made this movie 10 times better? Is if they actually let Dumbo talk. If they actually let the animals talk. Like, for me, this is what I was thinking. Remember my biggest gripe?
Yeah.
How the characters were like, by the time Michael Keaton made his appearance, the movie got good. You can take that in two ways. Either Michael Keaton's either really fucking good, or there was a problem about the entire beginning of that movie.
We didn't get our villain till that part of the movie.
Bingo. But here's the other thing I looked at, and I want to ask you. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Dave and Sean yesterday.
Okay.
How would you feel if we got to July and we looked at The Lion King and we sat there for the movie and none of the animals talked?
See, that's the difference between...
I'm just asking a question. Would you be furious?
With that one, yes.
That is with this. Yes, they did it differently here and tried to make it work. I think looking back on it and thinking about it, that's a pitfall. Because yes, I know like the Timothy character, Timothy Q. Mouse from the original, they tried to supplement that with a Danny DeVito as the head of the circus.
No, he was Medici, just like in the cartoon.
But I feel like it would have been a better movie if, instead of giving me these human characters to care about, give me the animal characters to care about, like a Dumbo. Give me the Timothy Q. Mouse, not just a little white mouse that looks like it's dressed like Timothy Q. Mouse. That, to me, would have fixed a lot of things, because I'm here to see Dumbo. I'm not here to see these humans. I'm here to see Dumbo. Give me that. And maybe give me Danny DeVito as Timothy Q. Mouse instead of the circus leader.
Here's the one thing I want to say. There's a difference between doing that with The Lion King and doing that with Dumbo.
I know.
Let me finish.
I was just asking a question to...
Dumbo didn't talk in the cartoon either.
He's got a voice.
In the cartoon?
I told you. It's Mel Black.
I don't remember him talking. It could be just for the noises.
Mel Black was Dumbo. So anything Dumbo did. But what I'm saying is...
I don't remember Dumbo talking at all in the other movie.
But what I'm saying is, like me, I'm even bringing in then the Timothy Q. Mouse
thing. Yes, I agree about the Timothy Q. Mouse.
Give me, like, I think this movie would have been better if they, instead of having the people be the main point of the story, have the animals be that main point. Even if you made Dumbo mute the entire movie and had Timothy Q. Mouse be that voice. I think it would have been better, and I would have been able to buy into these characters earlier rather than I did, because everything with the beginning, like, for example, the scene where his mom's getting beat and they beat up the one guy who's whipping everything, I didn't care about the humans. I cared about Dumbo and his mom.
Exactly.
When his mom left, I didn't care about the humans.
To me,
I cared about Dumbo's mom.
That's what was the more important part to me, too, because every time that guy got what he... Honestly, when it came, like, what was it, 20 minutes into the movie, he fucking got what he deserved, is what my first thought was for him.
Yeah.
Because, and since we're in spoiler mode, I could say, there's an accident in the circus because he actually started it, basically provoking Mrs. Jumbo.
Yeah.
And then she rampages into the circus, starts a fire because of that. Because of him, he's stuck under a thing and gets smashed.
Yeah. No, and that's...
Fucking deserved it.
Like, that was just one thing I looked at of, like, why didn't we have Timothy Q. Mouse or, like, the animals talk instead of having the human things? Because, like, for example, Colin Firth's character comes back from war.
Yes.
And it's
Colin Farrell.
Oh, man, yeah, Colin Farrell. I said Farrell. Colin Farrell.
I thought you said Firth. I'm like,
Maybe I did.
Anyways, Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell's character.
Farrier?
Yeah, Holt. Captain Holt. Basically, he comes back from war, loses his arm. You're like, oh, that sucks. Then it's like, oh, your wife's dead. Oh, that
shit.
sucks. But, like, for me, I'm not connected to these characters. So, like, you can't drop a bombshell on me that early because it's like a relationship. I'm just getting to know you, man. I'm just getting to know you, and you're hitting me with all these facts. It almost felt like it was, hey, we got to get this out of the way. All right, let's just get it out of the way early so then we can get to this point. Like, I feel like the beginning was just a jumblated mess. Then Michael Keaton comes here. He comes to save the day. And boom, the music. Like, the rest of the movie from when he makes his appearance, I was like, wow, I had a good time during this movie. The rest of it was just like, all right, when's everything's going to start going? Where's everything going to... Oh, I remember that from the old Dumbo movie. All right, okay. Like, that sucks, but I'm not connected to you. Oh, I remember that from the old Dumbo movie. Like, the beginning to me was just Act 1 and 2 was not hitting with me. Act 3 is really where it's like, wow, this was a fun ride here at the end.
Yeah, you know what? I don't have quite the same gripes because there's some of those parts where it's like, okay, I do feel sympathy for these people. Maybe I don't know why I was more empathetic for some, like just honestly, it was Holt, it was Millie are the two I actually had some sympathy for. Really, the brother, whatever his name was, Joe, I had really no sympathy for. He wasn't really that important. And then the only other thing I'd say, there wasn't a lot, like they kind of forced a romance between Holt and I'm trying to see Colette.
Yeah.
It's like you guys didn't really like make that time to simmer.
Well, it was because that he learned how she's basically a captive of Michael Keaton's character and that, he saved her. But it was like, really? Like, you're forgetting about your wife that soon, Captain Holt?
Exactly.
After you're so distraught about losing your wife? Yeah, how does that feel? I really wasn't buying that.
One was like, that's the one I didn't like, the relationship I wasn't a fan of. But otherwise, I mean, like, I had sympathy for the daughter and Holt himself. The son really was like such a B character in this movie that he didn't matter that much.
See, but I didn't
except for like showing the Dumbo like peanuts.
And I'm not saying I didn't care about, like, let's take Holt and his daughter.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I didn't care about those characters. By the time I got to care about them, like, to the time where it was like, okay, I care about these characters, we were already in the third act. We were already gearing up for the end of the movie.
See, I don't, because the part of it was
so
like...
for me, it's like, why? Why did it take that long for you to get me to care about these characters?
See, they weren't supposed to be... I think part of it was they weren't supposed to be the main focus. Obviously, it was supposed to be Dumbo.
But they are.
Well, they're not supposed to be necessarily the main focus.
And that's what I'm saying.
It's supposed to be Dumbo.
And that's what I'm saying. In the movie, they are. The main focus should be Dumbo, and that's where this movie
he more so was.
I
mean, they were trying to make a side, like, they're trying to do a side story with it as well to, like, make it.
And that's, yet again, I'm saying scrap. Like, I don't want to do the stereotypical Ricky scrap it, but, like, don't do that. Dumbo's your focus. Make Dumbo the focus. Like, it's a movie about Dumbo, not about Captain Holt.
Yeah, I do like their takes on some of the stuff with that though, because then it kind of incorporated more of how 1919's circus life was, and I got to see that more so than I would have if they didn't include that stuff.
So just to go into that, the visuals and everything, spectacular.
Yeah,
but it's a Tim Burton movie. I expected that.
Yeah, that's true. I did forget it was Tim Burton until after the end.
It was stereotypical Tim Burton-esque. Not like Alice in Wonderland, but like with some of the visuals, even the pink elephants that you said you really liked, that had Tim Burton's fingerprints on. Like,
it did?
This was Tim Burton's circus, which was a nice visual.
I have a different idea what Tim Burton's circus would look like, but maybe. Okay.
But like this was him saying, hey, I'm going to take that circus and this is what I'm going to do with it visually.
Actually thinking about it though, because like I said, until like they actually threw his name up there, I didn't realize, I forgot it was Tim Burton. And like I even made reference.
It's not going to be like Nightmare Before Christmas.
I didn't think that, but like I didn't even like, I got an even brighter vibe than Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, it's not going to be that either.
I'm just saying, it was way brighter than any of those Tim Burton movies I'm used to.
But if you look at the design,
which is why I forgot. You're right.
It is Tim Burton.
Which is why, like I said, when it, like Pink Elephants came on, I'm like, oh wow, this is really Tim Burton.
Tim Burton-y.
Tim Burton-y. Yeah.
That's a callback to the original podcast this week. But like that was good.
Yeah.
The Michael Keaton, like, to me, here's where the three characters that I think were amazing, and this is like a potential short list for my show stealer. Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Dumbo. That's it. Like, everybody else in this movie was kind of like, there were some of the circus folk that had their parts. Like, the snake charmer guy, like, he had those parts where it was like, rest easy, my friend, or like he had the one line of like sometimes animals and people can live together. Like he tells them, we'll take care of your son. He wasn't a bad character.
Yeah.
The strong man wasn't a bad character.
Rongo.
Like, some of those characters got to shine at individual moments, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the whole little Holt family thing, I just wasn't buying it. I wasn't caring about them until the movie was pretty much over. Like, and that to me was a huge, huge missed opportunity to where it was like, I get it. You might not have wanted, like you said, the question I threw out earlier, because I was being an asshole. Yes, you can't have the Lion King not talk because there's no human characters. But my point is, the original had those animal characters talk. What went into taking that out? Like, that just didn't seem like a Disney thing for me to do.
I'm not actually arguing with you. I'm saying you can make it substitute human characters instead in that way, but make them
I'm just wondering
sort of into those characters. Like, make Holt sort of like adapt into the Timothy Mouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Timothy Q Mouse.
Thank
role.
you. I couldn't remember his middle initial.
But like fast forward to Aladdin really quick.
Yeah.
That we're not going to have this problem with because Abu only made like little monkey noises.
Yeah, like he sort of like backhanded, like Donald ducked
but he would make
words,
sounds
but
that maybe sound like words.
But it's mostly just sounds.
Yeah, but it's not going to be a huge deal. The other one's the tiger, which
made roars, and then there's Iago,
roars.
which they kind of omitted.
Yeah, I forgot about Iago. Iago's the only one, but like, let's be honest.
Yeah, you don't need.
If freaking what's his name?
Gilbert Gottfried.
Gottfried didn't have that trouble years ago. He probably would have been casted for
probably,
Iago.
But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, he was more of just comic relief.
Yeah.
In the Aladdin movies, which they'll find another way.
With this one, I feel like with this one I went in. Usually, I try to go in with like low expectations because like I like to be. Ever since like a BVS, going with low expectations, it's easier to be impressed than it is to be disappointed.
Yeah.
I think I had too high of expectations for this, and they weren't super high to
They
begin
weren't
with.
met.
It was the expectations I had was, oh my God, I can't wait to see this because I liked the Dumbo movie back in the day. Like, yeah, I wasn't alive when it came out, but I remember watching it as a kid.
Yeah.
Like all the key points of like him with the fire in the building. You've got him with the feather. You've got Dumbo with the mother in the trunk. All of those hit home to me because it was like, yes, that is cut almost exactly from the Dumbo movie I remember. I was leaving this movie with missed opportunity. Like that was the feeling I was feeling. Where in the beginning, I feel like this movie missed a ton of opportunities, especially with the characters.
Yeah.
That even though they hit it in the end, it wasn't enough to save it in my mind.
I like I said, there's some things that I would have changed a little bit here and there, but overall, I liked where they went with a lot of it. There's, like I said, the brother actually didn't matter in the movie, so you didn't need to have him.
Secondary character.
He's a B-rate character.
He's a secondary main character, which is already not good.
Yeah, but I mean, I had some sympathy for Holt and his daughter.
You'll be nothing better than a B+ player, Johnny.
But the one thing I was going to say is just like, you can adapt to make like, okay, we don't want to have talk. Dumbo doesn't talk. We have other characters that like we want to replace, and so we don't have all these talking animals, so we can do our own kind of adaptation. Okay, then don't make someone kind of take Timothy Q. Timothy Q. Mouse's place. Make like Holt adapt into that character to some degree. Jim Crow. I like the reference throw to him, but honestly, I think I would have liked it too. Is like,
I want to get to that really quick. I just want to throw this out.
Yeah.
They tried to do that with the girl, but the girl was not the same type of character as Timmy Q Mouse, so it didn't work.
Yeah, exactly. She wasn't the same characteristics.
She was more of that like, I'm going to help you find your inner side. Here's the key. Oh, wait, I don't need the key. Throw it away. Which is a different personality than what Timothy Q Mouse was.
He was basically like what Danny DeVito was. He was a ringmaster.
Basically.
Timothy Q. Mouse was a ringmaster.
And that's exactly what I feel like it needed instead of what we got between the girl and Dumbo. But go ahead. I want to hear your Jim Crow thing because you said you actually have an idea of how
I would have
incorporated it in this movie.
And you actually could have gotten the song then.
When I see an elephant.
They had a jazz band when they were marching into Dreamland.
Yeah.
why the hell didn't we just get that same jazz band to do the actual song
Just
while
the
Dumbo's
instrumental,
flying around? You could have you could have had someone sing it even, but I like that they did how they did it, but you could have had like a instrumental jazz band,
or maybe having it because it's an amusement park. When they showed like the shots of like them selling the Dumbo toys, having it play through speakers at the park. Yeah, or just someone singing. Well, I've seen everything, but when I see an elephant fly,
but I didn't
even if it's something
everything.
that short.
But remember how Rongo had to be like the full band and hit the little Medici circus?
Yeah.
Well, they had a full orchestra.
Yeah.
Like you could have had like hey, we got Dumbo, the new act, the new flying elephant. We got a little jazz band. I seen a house fly, I seen a horse fly, but I ain't seen an elephant fly. And then as soon as Dumbo starts flying,
actually, you know what I just thought of? Speakers probably weren't created then. So that wouldn't have worked. Your live jazz thing is the only way we get it.
Yeah, 1919. Radios were around, but
amusement parks wouldn't have speakers like they do now.
They did in the movie too.
Did they?
When they had the announcement of like power shutting off.
That's right. You could just use that for music then? Like, is that what
I would
we're
think
thinking?
so.
Like, it
Victrolas were a thing,
it didn't bug me that it wasn't in it. But
it didn't bug me, but that's what I'm saying. How you could have since we were talking about the Timothy Q. Mouse, I'm like, well, you could have gotten the Jim Crow thing in there without saying bringing up Jim Crow.
Yeah,
like you could have had an actual jazz band
because the thing
sing and play that.
The thing I want to say right now, and this is just to get it across, by bringing up that hey, you could have had it in the movie. We are not saying that it was okay.
No, we're not saying it was okay yet.
I want to say
I'm glad you threw that in
there because I don't want people to think, well, they're trying to make excuses about how it could be in the movie. They probably don't see the cultural, I'm just going to say racism that was in there. And we see it, but I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying like how they reference it where you've seen a housefly, you've seen... We got it, but we took out all that bad racism. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, the way... All we were saying is, like, the way, since we brought up Timothy Q. Mouse, another way they could have brought in that character's song was that played as a jazz band.
I want to ask you this. I'm trying to think. Because at the very end... What would you give your grade for the ending? Because I thought after the movie you said you liked it. Seeing Dumbo and his mom in wherever they were, South.
I want to say it's Southeast Asia, somewhere in India, like northern India. I think.
Did you like seeing that at the end? Because I don't remember from the original.
No,
I don't think they even saved after the mom went away. She was never brought back.
I thought they got reunited them, but.
I don't remember.
In a circus.
Okay.
They were reunited, but in a circus.
But not out in the wild.
No. So, I mean, it was a nice touch. It was touching, but...
that's a good change. Otherwise...
it was touching, but not necessary.
What's your...
I guess.
Just to go in, because I feel like we've exhausted... Is there anything about the movie that you want to mention that we have not?
That's all I got. I mean, I'm glad they threw all the things in there. They made all the references that they could, and they referenced all the key points, at least.
And now to get into our main thing, which is our rating and our show stealers. And Johnny, what I am going to do is I'm going to kick it off to you first.
Okay.
Because our camera went out because DSLR only does 30 minutes. So I got to go over there and boop, boop, turn it on and off. I want you to go first. Who's your show stealer and why?
God, this is a hard one because you know what? Like we talked about, you didn't get a lot to like feel for the characters. And I think I might agree with you when you were talking about in the theater. I think I'm going to give it to Dumbo. Well, the CGI elephant.
And that's my whole thing of it, where it's like my short list comes down to Danny DeVito, Michael Keaton, and Dumbo. And the reason why Michael Keaton is a villainous role yet again, fucking phenomenal. And I'm actually going to look 2017 and 18. I think every movie that we've seen him in, Spider-Man Homecoming, I gave him one for that. American Made, I think one of us gave Michael Keaton a Show Stealer Award for that one. I think it was me.
I think you did.
Yet again. Was he in any other movies that year? No, not American Made. It was American Assassin.
Yeah, I knew what you meant, but I couldn't remember the actual name of the other
2018. Did we see a Michael Keaton movie last year?
Thought he was a villain in something else.
No, we didn't, because we had Super Troopers, Infinity War, Deadpool 2, Death Wish, Black Panther, Solo, Game Night, Pacific Rim Uprising, Ready Player One, Rampage, and Tomb Raider. So we did not, and then obviously Dumbo. Yeah, he was in Dumbo, and he was, to me, out of the human characters, the best one. Danny DeVito did good, and was probably the second best one. But I said I'm going to give it to Dumbo. Like, this was his movie. He was the best thing about this movie.
Yeah.
And, like, I even asked you after the movie, is it bad that I want to give it to none of the humans in this movie? I want to give it to the elephant that didn't say a damn word.
So that technically go to all the CGI artists?
Basically.
Yeah.
Like,
and whoever got recorded the elephant noises?
Exactly. Like, for me, that
so it goes to a slew of people, not just one individual now.
So
I'm good with that. We're going Dumbo.
Both going Dumbo?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put that on the good old sheet for us. And now let's kick it off. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? All right.
I always go first usually.
This one is easy for me. It's a 2 out of 5. And the reason why it's that is the first 2 acts, extremely slow character development. By the way, like I said, I cared about these characters when it was way too late. You missed that opportunity. I know that visually it was nice. Dumbo was nice. But I felt like I left this being A, disappointed. Not BVS disappointed, but disappointed. And B, wanting more. Like, being there were so many it's like when you go to a basketball game and your team loses. And you start thinking about, well, if they would have made this shot or that shot, or if this would have went a different way. That's how I feel about this movie. Well, if they would have done this different or that different, or if they would have done this, that's how I'm feeling with this movie. So for me, it's not right down the middle. It's just leaning towards a 2. I know I almost gave it a 2.5, but I ended up backtracking and giving it a 2 out of 5 because the character, if you're going to have the characters be the main front and not Dumbo, you got to make sure their development is there through the entire thing. What's yours?
This is probably going to be no surprise to you. I'm probably going to give it I think I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Wow, you went up.
Oh, I was thinking 3.5 when we went there, and there's not a ton of things I didn't like.
I believe at the end of the movie you said 3.5, but leaning towards a 3.
I don't remember saying leaning towards a 3,
because I thought I was leaning 2.5, you were leaning 3, and now I went back 1, you went up 1, so we averaged out the same.
Yeah, I mean either way, but there's not a ton of things. I'm glad they hit all the key things that you would remember from a Dumbo movie. There's not, it's not really that the character development bothered me. I get it because they weren't supposed to be the focus anyways. I mean, they wanted like a little side story so you can have some other things going on besides just the Dumbo story they had, because it may have, like, the things in between may have been a little bit dull if they didn't have like some sort of other character type thing going on. So it's not like it's low for a Disney movie. I mean, you have to say the overall prospect. Any Disney movie, this is really low for a Disney movie. A 3.5
out of the Disney movies that we've seen, and not Marvel Disney, just Disney. Beauty and the Beast, we left that as I was a 5. You were actually a 4.5. You knocked it down a point. I think it's because you just didn't want to give it a 5 out of 5. Let's see. Did we see one of them in 2018? We did not see a Disney live action because we didn't see Mary Poppins Returns at the end of last year. So this is the second one that we've seen. Beauty and the Beast was phenomenal. This one, not so much. I'm hoping Aladdin is a lot better. I'm hoping Lion King is spectacular.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one is just, it left me wanting more. And you know it's bad when, I'm just going to say this. You know it's bad when I left the movie going, man, I just want to watch the original. And it wasn't a watch the original to see what they had done in it. It was a, man, I just want to watch the original. Like, the original is better than me. And I'd rather watch that than this one. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in the comment section. Am I way too hard on this one? Is Johnny way too lenient on this movie? Let us know what you guys think down below. Out of this year, the movies that we've seen so far, this has now become my lowest rated movie of 2018. It is still not my lowest rated movie of all time, because that will be 2017's The Mummy. The only way a movie is taking that crown is if we ever give our first 0 out of 5.
Yeah.
Like if a movie is just god awful.
Well, basically 0 out of 5 would have been, you know what, it's worth walking out on this movie.
0 out of 5 would have been, I'll tell you 0 out of 5. Delta Farce. You want to know why? I think I've told you about this.
You did.
But Dave and I, when we were kids, saw like a Spider-Man movie, I want to say. And then Delta Farce was coming out. That was the Larry the Cable Guy, Bill Engvall movie. Mm-hmm. We went into it for free and stayed for about 10 minutes. It was like, hey, you want to go? Yeah, you want to go. And now we make the joke that you want to know how bad Delta Farce was? It wasn't worth free. That would be a 0 out of 5, my friend.
Exactly.
It wasn't worth sneaking into for free. But I am now at the lowest movie, Dumbo, 2 out of 5. And Johnny has tied his lowest movie for 2018. Now, Wonder Park and Dumbo. Wow, the last 2 movies that we've seen, Johnny's, according to the Johnny scale, you're not liking them. Like you had 4, 4.5, 4, 4.5. 3.5, 3.5. So I've been 3, 4, 4, 3.5, 3, and now a 2.
See, that shows it too. Like on my lower score, those are my lower scores, meaning I didn't like those movies as much.
Yeah,
it's low for
3. A 3 for Johnny is like a 2 for everyone else.
Johnny is kind of lenient with
Johnny's
movies.
a little inflated.
He looks for the good in the movie.
But next week, I will say this is tentative, but we may try to see 2 movies.
A double feature, basically.
A double feature. Wow, I like that. Double feature review. Both Shazam. Actually, we don't have to do the Shazam
No,
review.
you and Dave will be doing
That's
the Shazam.
Right. Dave and I will be doing it. So that's going to come out on Thursday. So you and I will be able to do the Pet Sematary review.
Okay.
But we could still see both, because I would love to see Shazam again. Like
I figured.
Spoiler, not spoiler. It was really fucking good. Go see if you are planning to go see Shazam. Well, I can't wait to talk about it. It was really good. And I hope I didn't spoil anything for my review.
Spoil everything
because it's good. Just go see it. But thank you guys for checking this out. Make sure you tell us what you guys think down below in the comment section. Make sure to check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/MostValidPodcast. Make sure to also rate and review us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts. 5 stars really goes a long way for helping us out. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Thank you guys for listening on podcast services around the world. And as always, have a good day, everybody.